Oh, it is indeed. In fact, the last royal, apart from Princess Anne, in a case about one of her dogs, a senior royal who was in court. You have to go back to Edward VII when he was Prince of Wales in the 19th century. It would have been absolutely unthinkable in an international media circus if Prince Andrew had actually got into court. The reason that this settlement and 97% of these civil court cases do end up with settlements. The reason it had to happen now was that on the 10th of March, he was going to be subjected to deposition, which is of discovery, which is the next legal phase of this case. And he would have been asked very searching questions, reportedly over as long as 2 days by Virginia Giuffre's team. And this is the person who gave that absolutely bizarre interview on Newsnight. It wouldn't have been conceivable, if it could possibly avoided, to let that go ahead. Last month he was talking about seeing his, having his time in court. It was always the very last thing the royal family wanted, and they will be breathing a sigh of relief at this.
Yes. So why now, Richard, do you think? I mean, we know that the Queen is just on the, poised to celebrate 70 years on the throne. Was it a question that the royal family pressured him to do this?
I think the royal family were absolute on this. Firstly, there had to be a settlement, which is the way these cases I've mentioned are usually dealt with. And also, secondly, he has no future as a working royal. Prince Charles and Prince William are absolute when it comes to that. He's been stripped of all his honorary patronages and military links. But very, very significantly here, David Boys, who's the head of Virginia Giuffre's legal team, had hinted, whereas she wanted a great deal more than the money, which he said she wasn't interested in. As you know, there's a substantial settlement, to quote the court case, the summary between solicitors, which will be going to charity. We don't know exactly how much that is, but the speculation in the Telegraph today, for example, as much as £12 million, that's absolutely enormous. But what also is very significant is that he's pledged to help fight sex trafficking. I would suggest that the next move for him ought to be to cooperate with the FBI, because he always promised to do it and never did do it. And of course, there's the court of public opinion. They haven't forgotten the Newsnight interview, a photograph which has never been explained of him with Virginia Roberts, as she was then, and Ghislaine Maxwell in 2001 hasn't been explained. And also, of course, his absolutely catastrophic friendships. So he has no obvious future. At 61, I would suggest a private arrangement whereby, for example, he managed the royal estates. But no, I mean, so far as his career is concerned, this has been disastrous.
Yes, it's sort of the ultimate disgrace. But I mean, when you're talking about a potential settlement of £12 million, there have been so many questions around his finances. Who's paying for it?
He has, we know, a small naval pension. He reportedly has a stipend from the Queen. There apparently are up to 18 million, from which a great deal may be deducted, linked to a chalet that he and his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson, with whom he cohabits, they apparently have sold it in Switzerland. Now that is likely to be of great assistance. There are also reports that the Queen is helping, and I mean, this was an emergency for the monarchy, so there may be various helpers in one way or another. I mean, this was something the royal family had to get behind it. The case is behind it, this is closed, but when it comes to other matters, you never know what may transpire or indeed emerge. But the facts are that he is in disgrace. Will he keep the title Duke of York? The city of York, according to polls, are not keen on it, but would take a resolution, his parliament, an act of parliament to remove it. The main thing, I think, is the establishment the fact that he will not be appearing in any public forum, which would have been appalling, and also he won't be undergoing a grilling in March. But frankly, he's handled this in a way that can only be described as catastrophic.
Absolutely. Richard, just extraordinary. But as you say, potentially the saga now, for the moment, at an end. Good to talk. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.